This is our cut flower garden, and it's divided into two areas. It's an area for perennial plants, which are there permanently, and then this area along here, which is for annuals. And the lovely thing about growing your own cut flowers is not only do you get to enjoy them in the house, but you also get to enjoy them in the garden. Clearly, one of the most important things about a cut flower is it lasts for a long time in the vase. But another thing to think about is how many flowers you're actually going to get off the plant. And I've chosen some annuals, which you can almost treat as cut and come again. As long as you pick, and you pick early, you'll get a second and a third flush of flowers. I'm going to sow two types of cornflower. The first one is a variety of our native cornflower, Centuria cyanis, and it's called Black Boy, and it has these incredible dark, deep purple flowers. And I think the trick at this time of year, because it's an absolutely perfect time to sow these annuals, is to water the line first, because that way you only dampen the seeds you want to sow and not the weeds. So I'm going to give it a good soak because it's been quite dry. And then all you do is simply sow like you'd sow anything else. And the trick with making them sort of behave as if they're cut and come again is to get in early on that first lot of flowers. Don't sort of think, oh, aren't they pretty? I'll just leave them there. Pick, and it simply forces the plant to think, oh, I've got to go again, I've got to go again. The important thing with cut flowers is that you do thin them out just like you would with lettuce, because you do need to give them space. If you overcrowd them, you might find that you get not such an attractive habit, because what you're looking for is nice long stems so that you can put them in a vase. So I'm sewing down the line, and I will thin out probably to about 10 to 15 centimetres between plants, maybe a little less, depending on how they come up. And then the second cornflower that I have is called Centuria americana, and that's the basket flower, and it looks essentially a little like the cornflower, but it has slightly more finely cut petals. And I've chosen one called Lilac Charm, which is a very, very, very beautiful, very delicate lilac colour. Now, you don't just need flowers in a cut flower garden, you also need foliage. And I'm going to sow a classic flower arranging foliage plant, asparagus. And I'm choosing Conover's Colossal, which is a variety which comes true from seed. So that doesn't really matter, because all I want is the foliage. So there's these lovely glossy fronds which last for a very long time in the vase. But the point is, if you were to leave it in the ground, it would turn into the asparagus you eat. But we're not going to treat it that way because we want it to be an annual. It's an easy crop to grow and a very cheap way to get a lot of beautiful foliage. And you just sow it down the line exactly the same. You just need to be a bit more patient because it can take a little bit of time to germinate. And then once it's up and to a decent size, start cutting. So from just a couple of packets of seeds, I will have plenty of lovely cut flowers. I'll never have to worry whenever I need a present. Now, you don't just have to grow annuals, you can grow perennials, which are a little more permanent. And I've got this Alchemilla mollis, which is a lovely plant because it will give me both foliage and flowers for the vase. And these little plants cost £1.99, and by the height of summer will be covered in flowers and the lovely, lovely fresh green foliage. Something I love to use in flower arranging. All you need to do is plant them in the garden. And I'm going to have them so they sort of froth over the path.
Our cutting garden may not look like much at the moment, but come June it will be awash with colour. One popular cut flower that's putting on a